Just had a great meeting with the TV show that I'm going to be doing. So, yeah, your boys are going into TV.
It's a really exciting time. I took a good year and a half, 2 years almost to make this project, and I've been producing music myself for the last 10 years. So.
Listen up. There's word that the feds have solid evidence tying Diddy to Aaron Carter's death. At least, that's what the internet is buzzing about ever since talk started that the case might be reopened following Diddy's most recent court appearance. Allegedly, investigators may have uncovered a prop, something Aaron was planning to expose, revealing details about Diddy's wild behind-the-scenes lifestyle just before he was suddenly wiped out. Now, the entire internet is spiraling. People are asking,
10 years I went with everybody denying me, every label turning their back on me, people making fun of me, calling me a super-duper drug addict, or saying, they thought I was dead.
Could it really be true? Did the feds find something that connects Diddy directly to Aaron? You'd better sit down and brace yourself, because what I'm about to tell you will blow your mind and completely flip everything. You thought you knew about Aaron Carter's case. Things around Aaron Carter's mysterious death have just taken a dark and twisted turn. His tragic passing didn't just stun fans. It exploded into a wildfire of chilling conspiracy theories that just won't die down. From murmurs about his ex-fiancée and a strained relationship with his brother Nick, to whispers involving Hollywood elites, secret sacrifices, and even names like Kanye West and Diddy being tossed into the mix, the internet's been deep in detective mode ever since that day. Let's start with the big question that still haunts everyone. What really happened in Aaron's final hours? Official reports called it a tragic accident, a deadly mix of substances and a bathtub. But to a lot of his fans, that story feels way too clean, especially when you look at all the strange, unsettling things that happened in the days leading up to it. Aaron had been posting weird, cryptic messages online, calling out the music industry, saying he was being watched, stalked, even begging for people to take him seriously. He spoke openly about feeling used, targeted, and silenced. And now, some believe he was trying to warn us about something much darker, something buried deep within the shadows of the entertainment world. And now that Diddy's trial is underway, a flood of disturbing allegations are spilling out. Suddenly, Aaron's name is being dragged back into the spotlight. Why now? Well, don't forget, Aaron had been speaking out for years about being mistreated in the industry, and some of the things he said back then, they're hitting way harder now, as if he knew too much and was trying to break the silence. Was Aaron just another troubled star battling demons? Or was he the target of something far more sinister, something rooted in the dark underbelly of Hollywood's elite? That's what a growing number of people believe. And when you start connecting the dots, the paranoia, the fights, the A-list names whispered around his death, it starts to feel like Aaron Carter may have been silenced. Because right after Diddy's arrest, a certain tweet started going viral. It claimed Aaron was about to expose what really went down at Diddy's alleged sex trafficking parties, that he himself was a victim of abuse and drugs as a child. And here's where it gets even deeper. Aaron released music through Sony Music Entertainment, the parent company of Diddy's Bad Boy Records. That single tweet lit a firestorm online, and according to some, it even caught the attention of federal investigators. Word is, they're now considering reopening the case, and possibly looking into how Diddy fits into this whole disturbing puzzle. And the more you peel back the layers on Aaron's final moments, the more suspicious things get. On the surface, it looked like another heartbreaking celebrity overdose. Aaron had always been honest about his struggles, with addiction, mental health, the constant pressure of fame. So, when the news broke, sadly, most people weren't surprised. The official version? Aaron drowned in his bathtub. A housekeeper found him. End of story, right? Not quite, because investigators are now taking a second look, thanks to some extremely bizarre and troubling details that have surfaced, leaving us with more questions than answers. At the scene, police found multiple cans of compressed air, something Aaron had admitted to using, along with scattered prescription pills near the tub. Given his known history with schizophrenia and bipolar disorder, many assumed it could have been suicide, especially since Aaron had no real support system and was estranged from most of his family, including his brother Nick. But here's where everything flips. People who were really following Aaron closely are now saying, "Wait a second, this doesn't add up." Because not long before he died, Aaron was saying he was getting clean. He was fighting for custody of his son. He had new music on the way and seemed hopeful about the future. People close to him insist he wouldn't have taken his own life. And this is where it gets downright chilling. Online sleuths and diehard fans are now shifting their focus, not just on the circumstances, but the people who were around him. There's talk of serious financial exploitation. Now things are getting even darker. Aaron Carter had people around him, so-called friends, who mysteriously vanished the day he died. There are even claims that Aaron knew people were after him. He'd been sounding the alarm for a while, saying he was being targeted, that he felt unsafe, and that powerful figures in the industry were trying to shut him down. And get this, according to reports, Aaron's neighbors, Anthony and Amanda Chavavel, both medically trained, actually heard the 911 call through a police scanner and rushed over to help. Amanda, who's a registered nurse, even grabbed her defibrillator and ran over, ready to save a life. But when they got to Aaron's front door, the house sitter wouldn't let them in. Yeah, seriously. A man is reportedly unresponsive in the bathtub, and you're telling people with medical training. No entry? Amanda later said the woman locked the door and ran away from it. Ran. If that's not sketchy, I don't know what is. And it gets worse. When police arrived minutes later, the house sitter allegedly tried to block them too. Yes, you heard that right. The same woman who should have been helping Aaron was now standing in the way of emergency responders. Why? If Aaron really just needed help, why stop anyone from giving it to him, unless there was something inside that nobody was supposed to see? And then there's another major red flag. Aaron's ex-fiancée, Melanie Martin. Just 3 days before Aaron's death, he went live on Instagram and opened up about their toxic relationship. And Melanie, she jumped on the live and told him that if he did something to himself, she'd blame herself. Wait, what? Who says that to someone who's clearly in a fragile state on a public live stream? Maybe she meant it as a warning about his behavior, but given their rocky past, it landed completely differently. Especially when you remember that Melanie was arrested for domestic violence in 2020. That's right, she was charged with physically assaulting Aaron. After her arrest, Aaron went public and said he was done with her. He even uploaded a YouTube video where he detailed the abuse. So when you consider Melanie's disturbing IG comments, her violent history, and the fact that their relationship was extremely messy, a lot of people are seriously suspicious. And we can't ignore what happened next. Aaron was found dead in his bathtub, with reports of compressed air, prescription pills, and a bunch of people acting shady in his final moments. This is where things go from sad to seriously disturbing. Yes, Melanie Martin was arrested for DV. Yes, somehow they got back together, got engaged, and even had a baby, their son, Prince, in November 2021. But just 1 week after Prince was born, their relationship blew up again. Aaron tweeted, "I'm too scared and I can't trust any woman, so I'm going to protect my soul and my heart at this time." But he didn't just tweet. He took action. He filed a restraining order against Melanie, accused her of causing emotional distress, of scratching and shoving him. He also filed for custody of their son, clearly trying to separate himself from something he saw as toxic and dangerous. And yet, right before Aaron's death, there were rumors they might have been reconciling. Were they officially back together? That part's still unclear. What's not unclear is how off Melanie's behavior was after Aaron was found. She reportedly showed up later, and instead of grieving in private, she went on TikTok, posting a short, strange video of herself crying. But fans weren't buying it. The tears seemed forced, the timing felt off, and her whole energy just didn't sit right. She said, "This is really surreal. I don't even know what to say right now. I can't look at the camera." But people were like, who posts a TikTok right after the father of their child dies under mysterious circumstances? Why wasn't she with him in those final hours? Why was her first instinct to go live instead of mourning? Was this heartbreak, or was it something else? Given everything, the abuse history, the restraining orders, the legal battles, many aren't convinced this was genuine grief. To some, it looked more like image control. And when you connect the dots, the sketchy behavior, the weird reactions, the years of chaos between them, it really starts to feel like we've barely scratched the surface of what actually went down behind closed doors. And then there's Nick, Aaron's brother. People were shocked when he went on stage to perform just one day after Aaron died. Now, everyone grieves differently, sure. We don't all process loss the same way. But come on, let's be honest, Aaron and Nick didn't exactly have a warm relationship. Aaron and Nick's relationship was far from brotherly. Aaron had publicly accused Nick of bullying him, even went as far as filing a restraining order. And, let's not forget, he also made some seriously disturbing claims about their sister, Leslie. So naturally, people are asking, how was Nick able to get up on stage and perform like nothing happened, one day after his brother's sudden, mysterious death? But honestly, Nick's reaction isn't even the most suspicious part of all this. What's really raising eyebrows is what happened in the hours before and the days immediately after Aaron died. Like this, why did Aaron's fiancée, Melanie Martin, show up with 2 moving trucks to his house almost immediately after he passed? While the investigation was still ongoing? How is that even allowed? The timing is just bizarre, especially considering her previous arrest for domestic violence against Aaron and their chaotic on-again, off-again relationship. It doesn't sit right, and then there's the Hollywood conspiracy theory that just won't go away. Before you roll your eyes, listen to this. The very last tweet Aaron ever posted before he died said, "Yo, Kanye, let's talk man to man." Now, if you've been following Kanye's recent headlines, you already know, right before that he exposed his former trainer, Harley Pasternak. The same Harley who allegedly sent Kanye terrifying texts, threatening to have him institutionalized again, saying he'd be drugged into zombie land. And here's the twist. Harley Pasternak? He's not just a celebrity trainer. The man used to work for the Canadian Department of National Defense in a lab that focused on psychological warfare and behavioral modification. Yeah, let that sink in. So, let's break this down. Aaron was trying to turn his life around. He had listed his house for sale, talked about wanting a fresh start, tweeted at Kanye, possibly trying to connect or warn him, and then, suddenly, he's gone. It's just too many coincidences stacked on top of each other, and the deeper you dig, the more it starts to feel like Aaron Carter knew something he wasn't supposed to. Something he was trying to say, and maybe, just maybe, that cost him his life. So, what do you think about all of this? Is it just a tragic end for a troubled star? Or is there way more happening behind the scenes than anyone wants to admit? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. Until next time, stay curious, stay questioning.